Hey there, hi there, ho there, everybody. It's Mindful Pig here, and this is the Two Tired Dudes podcast. On this episode, we're going to be talking about tools and weapons that we would like to bring from the video game world into the real world. The basement gaming community itself has a few topics of discussion that they're going to go over. And it seems like we had a little bit of a glitch when your mom was talking at one point, so we had to edit that part out, but the rest of it seemed to work perfectly fine. I just want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in every week, whether you watch on YouTube, whether you're watching on Spotify, Anchor, whatever the case is, or Twitch directly. Thank you. Thank you so much for just making this a reality and making this exciting to do every single week. This is definitely one part of the week that I look forward to the most, and it's because of all of you. It's because of the community for jumping in and joining in that conversation, and it's also because of people like you who just tune in and listen to us pretty much ramble on about anything. Thank you so much. It means more than you could ever know. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the show. Bye.
But I've been thinking about getting a car, so. But there is people inside the chat now.
I was gonna
Hola,
say.
people.
Hello.
There's sleepy and mom in the chat.
I have earbuds. Is it too loud? Is it too noisy?
No, mom, it's perfect.
Okay, and I just want to be sure.
Yep, pretty gosh darn good.
Used earlier. Because I don't know, my laptop was fixed. So I apologize.
You're okay. Don't ever apologize for something that has to go with stuff, like ever. Then, yeah, it's alright.
So, Mr. Fun, are you
Plus,
all
I'm
ready to
just
go?
Sure, why not?
Alright. Well, kick it off, Monsieur Host.
I bet. Alright, so. Stuff. I want to ask how everybody's week was after the stream last week. So, I want to start with C, if she's able to.
Sorry for noise. 30 minutes until I'm off work, so.
Alright, it's okay.
From last week to this. Alright.
Yeah.
It's okay. I actually found two animes just today. So I've been very I've been kind of binge watching this new anime that I'm currently watching, and it's pretty funny. Yeah. It's called I think if I remember, it's on Netflix if anyone was wondering. So it's called Romance Killer. It's hilarious. Long story short, is about a girl, right? The main anime protagonist, you say. She's a gamer. Right? She has a high schooler that interest in IRL guys. Yeah, and then her whole life kind of becomes a real life dating simulator, which is great. I'm on episode 5, and it's so funny. It's great.
I've seen a few animes are like that. They're really hard to find.
Well, now you have one. You should try to watch it. And my very first one I was a really psychological horror. So best way to describe it, American. I don't know if you guys watch I think it's called American Horror Story.
Yeah.
It's basically that, but an anime. It's just
Okay.
kind of if you have a low tolerance for gory stuff, I suggest you not watch it.
Okay, I will not watch it then.
But if you Alright, how a week started. I had to stop watching it personally and move to Romance Killer. I watched it throughout the day, and I was like, okay, I need to chill. So, but yeah, it's also on Netflix. It's also on Netflix as well. I think it's like something with Maniac in it. I'll type it in a Discord, or I'll type it in chat too, just in case if anyone watch it.
Did you finish
But
your Snake Show? See?
I need to check out about that. Actually, my mom's all caught up. I kind of into the show at like 3. I have a lot of anime I need to watch, but currently it's those 2 shows on Netflix. I'm definitely gonna put it bench to watch some more tonight. Not gonna lie, maybe did 3 hours sleep to finish bench watching Romance Killer. Because the anime is 12 episodes, so I guarantee you it's like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's so weird, like how shows are like only like 10 episodes long now, like for a season. Like I remember back in the day when it was like 20 was the minimum.
Yeah, it was like 20 or 24. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really miss it, but I also like shows like this because they kind of just leave you wanting more when the next season or when the next episode comes out. Like, oh my god,
That's true. Yeah, no, that's a real point. It probably budget was too, like it was probably expensive paying someone for double the amount of episodes.
Yeah, but I don't know. And I haven't been doing much. I had to handle some personal stuff over the past week. So the usual, kind of stressed out because of school and work and all that good stuff.
Goddamn adulting.
Yeah, no adulting.
Fuck adulting, I hate it.
It's crazy to think.
Mindful knows why.
Crazy to think, tomorrow's is already the 1st of February. Crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, my brother is turning 26 this Friday.
Woo.
So,
Ooh.
yeah, hopefully I get to stream Sunday. Hopefully. Cross your fingers.
Did you get any time for gaming though this past week?
I think I did one stream over the weekend. I think it was Saturday night. I can't remember my own stream. Damn.
I can't even remember my own. I don't feel bad.
Yeah, so I think it was Saturday or Sunday night. I don't remember. I had to double check. Don't take my word for it.
Was it Valorant or was it Genshin this time?
It was so I had it was on the Genshin.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, okay, cool vibes. Let's do this. Right, that's the whole plan for my idea. And then took me an hour and a half to fix my OBS. It's like, yeah, we're on break on you. So I'm
Aw.
like, so as I was loading up Genshin, my OBS decides like break. I'm like, okay. And then when I got working again, I was just so fresh. I was frustrated already, so I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna shit on some kids. The whole vibe. I ranked up.
Nice.
So I went from so the lowest is iron, and then I went to the second lowest. But you know what? Hey, it's okay. It's hard to rank up. The rank system is messed up. But I went from bronze 1 to bronze 2, and hopefully during that next stream I'll be at least silver. At least. That's my plan anyways.
Nice. Way to
But
go.
yeah. He knows how to jump scare people while killing in the game, and it makes it so much fun to watch. So learned a little, definitely got to practice up. I want to get better at it. So I think I'm just lucky that, like my daughter always says, where do you find all of these nice people on the internet, Mom? And I'm like, well, they're not really on the internet, they're streamers. So, you know, he's just gracious enough and tolerated me honestly, and kind of taught me the ropes a little bit.
Are you finding that you
So,
enjoy that game a little bit more now, Dead by Daylight?
well, I haven't got to play it since we kind of went through that training. It's been one thing or another,
Oh,
you know.
okay.
So I'm working on something for my daughter. So I'm building a Stardew Valley up for, so hopefully she can, when she goes up to school,
Aw.
she can play it.
That's sweet.
And yeah, I've almost got her where she needs to be. Well, Michael knows I'm very particular about the way that I play the game, like the way that I set things up.
Yes. And the way she sets things up, it actually works really well. It's very meticulous. It's fantastic.
Thank you. I just
And then you see my farm, and everything is fucking everywhere, and you're like, how the hell do you even get? How do you walk?
It's not that bad. Cut that out.
It is a hot mess.
I just figured out. I think I got lucky with it, and I just figured out early on what generated the most income, and just went with that. Just kind of hammered away with that. So anyway, yeah, that's about it. I played some Destiny off, and they did add some stuff to Destiny that completely excited me. It
Ooh.
comes from Destiny 1, and I was watching this cutscene roll, and I saw the Iron Lord. They started discussing like the Iron Lords, and we wanted last year or year before, the community wanted a revamp or like a reboot of a campaign. It was a DLC around the Iron Lords, and it went so far as like the community members hired professional artists to create the weapons, the art for the weapons and for the costumes and everything, and we all changed our shaders out to black and red to represent that we wanted another season of the SIVA. And I'm hoping they're going to touch on that. I think they might give part of it to us anyway.
That's really cool. The community got involved that way. Wow.
Yeah, it was some next level. It was very, very cool.
So, like, what is it, Mom? Is like a different like game mechanic or a different like mode or?
They are running it like Lightfall is coming, and they're building up to the end. They're calling it our end, and they just keep adding to the story. And they brought the Iron Lords back into the story, and I got pretty excited.
No, that's
very
awesome.
excited. I think I was on a party with Mike when it happened. I think you heard me like on that.
Oh yeah, she went absolute fangirl.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah, I was like
She
almost
squeaked and squealed and all sorts of things.
I was in tears. I was like, yes, because it honestly, out of all the DLCs, all the campaigns I've played, SIVA, they call it the season of SIVA, is probably one of the best seasons we had in either game, in D1 or D2.
Wow.
It was so well done, and I feel kind of bad for people that missed it. It's there still in D1. I mean, you can still get Destiny 1 and play it through.
Yep.
But yeah, it was just so freaking, it was so good.
I get
And I'm
you,
like,
though.
hoping they bring it back. I'm hoping that's what they do. For some portion of it anyway.
Oh, that's cool though. It's been a while since something in Destiny actually excited you that way. So I'm glad that they added that. Then.
Yeah, I was like you said, I was fangirling all over the place. I was like, oh, this is the thing we've all been begging for. You would hope that they would, especially after the community members made some really, really cool looking weapons. some of them are professional graphic artists, and so I don't think it was too hard for them to, you know, to come up with some of that, with some of the concepts. So, and some of it was just, I don't know, it was just so exciting. And we were kind of hoping they would do it. And then they came out with, of course, like, they have their own, it's a company, they have their own, their own progression.
Yep.
So that's already, planned out. But they said they were going to entertain it and listen to what the community wanted. And I feel like they might have halfway done that anyway, which you really don't hear a lot of companies anymore really listening to their fan base or their game base.
Yeah, especially like I said, the last little bit there, you guys were talking about Destiny 2. It's not like you guys as the fans themselves were really happy with some of the changes. So it's nice to hear that they actually did something for you guys.
Yeah.
Are you excited too, Fundead? Like for this? Are you impacted at all, or
I still haven't
not as
gotten
much as Mom?
one,
Okay.
to be honest.
I don't think you played through D1 though, did you? Because I don't think you ever really saw like the seal. I don't think you saw those things. Like they're
No, I didn't play through D1.
I still play it off and on. I'll still boot it up every once in a while and play it.
Is there like still like online servers for that D1?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, they're all still there. Yeah,
Wow.
it's hard to get into PvP to get enough people to do PvP, but yeah, it's all still there. Yeah,
That's pretty impressive that they kept it up. Wow.
yeah. It's really cool because I think it's where I nerd out. Where the storyline, like there was where they dropped in D1, they never explained who she was. They never really told you who she was. She pops back up in D2, and they actually explained who she is, her history, and she's come about halfway through D2 now. I think she's been active with us for over a year now, maybe 2 years. I think D2's been around for what, 4 years?
Yeah, I think before.
Yeah, she's been with us about half of that time, and yeah, it's been a cool tie back. Yeah, I'm totally enjoying it. Now I've been miserable with it for a minute. So I'm not gonna lie. They turned it into some weird grind. I'm hoping they go back. We'll see. Or if there's even like a D3. I don't know if they'll do that or not. I hope so.
I think so. Like, just like based on what you like see on Twitter and stuff like that, like the game still has a really decent, loyal fan base. But like you're saying, this next year will really decide that, right? The changes that they make or how they choose to end it all.
Yeah, I think whatever direction Sony wants to go into with it, if they decide that, yeah. Because I know once they split with Activision, it was clear that the money just wasn't there to do what they had been doing. The shift was pretty obvious. It's been me for the last week. I finished my Hurricane book that I read annually, and yeah, that's been about it for me. Building a SharePoint library that's gonna be the death of me eventually. It'll end up being so big. I'm just hoping I made it so that it's manageable for everybody to use. We have 92 counties in the state of Indiana, and we have to bring all 92 of them up on the same system.
Wow.
And then log any issues we have as that happens. And we got to have some kind of viable reporting off the back end of it. And everyone was using spreadsheets, and they got not to like wax too much about work, but like you probably don't want to do that because I think they're managing about 100 help desk tickets a day right now with just one county.
Holy crap.
We gotta have something a little bit more.
I say, don't ever feel bad. Mom, half the time having a bad day, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bitch in the Discord about this day today.
Heck yeah, do it.
Sometimes you just have to vent about work.
Yeah, I'm just hoping. We're really passionate about what we do, and I'm pretty private about it, but we're really passionate about what we do. We about most of us about service and serving our communities, and so it gets stressful on that side of things.
Oh yeah, that's a big responsibility, like you're saying.
You just hope, like, you hire a vendor to come in, and they're a vendor.
Yeah,
They don't really work for. I mean, they're not really. They're a contractor. They're not going to feel the same passion that we feel. They're just there to do a job and leave.
exactly. Yeah, you're right.
You don't really get the same, maybe the same quality of work. I don't want to bash them too hard.
I felt bad. We had this one guy come in. He's a Coke rep, right? Anyway, he's
Mhm.
getting so passionate about how he wants his Coke cooler set up, and I'm just like,
Really?
yeah, I feel so bad. I just keep telling him the same thing over and over again. I was like, it's great ideas. It's really smart. It's like, but it's up to head office. And I just have to keep repeating
Right.
that line. It's like you don't. It's like
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
understand. Like head office is very particular.
Same situation, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're the guy that has to say, no, I can't. I can't. Oh, that sucks. I hate that.
I've had the opposite too, where the vendor just comes in and they're just like, yeah, we just want to get this done and be on our way. It's like I
And
get
be
you.
done. hmm we call it
I will be right back.
just want to get it off my desk. Is what we call it.
Exactly.
And just move on. Can we just go? Yeah. And I've been on both sides of that. I think we all have at some point.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I see both sides of it, and I'm not going to bash anybody for any. I don't have any reason to.
No.
I don't want to say the vendor hasn't done a good job. I think the vendor has done what they can. Because I've been on that other side of things. I don't know. Have I ever? I don't want to talk too much,
No, go for it,
but
Bob.
I read annually. It's called Isaac Storm. I don't know. I've talked about it on stream quite a few times. It kind of details the 1900 hurricane of Galveston, Texas,
Okay.
and it's based on the guy that wrote it based it off of research. He actually sorry, yeah. I should not do two things at once. I'm playing Destiny and talking to you guys.
Yeah.
I need to stop doing this. I'm too old for this. My brain can't process right anymore. So he actually uses reference points to documents, letters, notes, anything he could find around the storm, and then tells it in a kind of a more storytelling fashion.
Okay.
So it's not just a flat document or a flat. It's not just flat factual information. You actually have a touch. There's a personal touch to it, where he read through the survivors that experienced it and incorporate their experiences with surviving the storm. It had one of the largest death tolls in the United States at that time, and it was just they didn't catch that it was coming because they just didn't have the technology to catch it was coming.
Wow.
So I'm always fascinated with it, the history around it. It covers science history, the human side of it.
I say if
and
you
it's kind of on my bucket list to go there.
yeah. If because
Mhm.
Fundead pointed this out last time, I didn't even realize that we could do this on here. But like not right away, but when you get a second, Mom, if you want, maybe post a link of that book on the general
Mhm.
chat side there, and this way those that are
Yeah,
watching, they can check out that book too. That sounds
yeah,
really interesting, though. I do like the idea behind it. So it's almost like a, like you said, you get the information, but it's also more of a story too. I like that little human touch.
yeah. It's it's yeah. I don't know. I the first time I read through it, the timing on when I read through it the first time was just weird. It was 2005, and we were rolling into hurricane season. And
Oh,
yeah, as I was reading it, of course, I get on the internet. I'm like, okay, now I want to learn more about hurricanes. And so I start research. I just pull up images of hurricanes that we've had in the last, 20 or 30 years. And I'm like, so I get an idea of like typical size of a hurricane, and then, just basically I like to learn more about, like, I don't just like to take spoonfuls of stuff. I go knee deep. So I'm reading everything I can on hurricanes online, sitting at work. I'll never forget this. And I don't remember if it was the Weather Channel or the National Weather Service started talking about this hurricane. And they said it was gonna, that it looked bad. It was going to heat up as it crossed the Gulf. And I was like, man, that sounds just like that thing that happened in 1900. And I started talking to the gals I worked with at the time in this office. And I was like, do you guys mind if I like track this a little bit? And even my boss was like, no, 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 go ahead, go ahead. Because, we have offices all over the country. I can say what we do, but it'll be interesting to see like if they're going to need any help down there. And so every day I would pull up the tracker and track that hurricane. And oh my God, was it a monster? And that was Katrina. Yeah.
oh wow, that was Katrina. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it just coincided with the same time I was reading that book. It was just so weird, the timing on it and everything.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, definitely want to check out that one.
Okay. I hate to do this because I really do apologize, but shit came up and I gotta get off here.
Oh, yeah, no worries, Fundead.
I do apologize,
No, it's all good, buddy. I will save
but
your topic
thank you
then.
for. No, you can go ahead and use it. It's all right.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's good. Therefore, people don't have to worry about thinking of like a different answer and stuff. So,
Oh, what was the topic?
but thank you.
Sorry.
Oh, the topic was if you're able to take anything from like a video game. If you're able to take anything from a video game and bring it into the real world.
Oh, good. Thank you for that reminder.
No worries. But I will see you guys later.
All right, buddy. See you
Take
next
care.
time.
I will try. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Well, I guess I better not sit here all casual. I'll take over as host. Just slow down here, going. All right, it's Fundead's turn. Yeah. So
One thing we could.
I was gonna say,
Oh
if you get a
gosh.
chance, Mom, just
Did
make sure you post that book, because yeah, it does sound like a really good read. When I look at that one.
yeah, the gentleman. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop playing Destiny because I'm bombing. Not two things at once. So it's called Ice Storm because the meteorologist that lived in Galveston, Texas at the time, his name was Isaac Klein, and his brother and he manned the Weather Bureau station down there at the time, and so he had mispredicted it basically completely. And when he realized what was really going to happen, it was too late. So, and that's why it's called Isaac Storm. So there was a lot of play, so they go over that too. So yeah, I'll absolutely post. Is it a link in?
You can just do it on the general chat menu there. So Fundead had a picture of his car. Here, I'll pop up something easier to see.
Gotcha. I see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll find it on. I think Goodreads has it. Let me see if I can find it on Goodreads, and I'll add a link to that. I feel like I've been talking forever.
No, it's all good. That's the whole point of the general catch up. So this is some weeks, we're gonna have a lot we've done, and some weeks we're not gonna have so much.
True.
Well, for me then, I came in because I was all excited because I was like, yeah, I finished this B series. I got something to talk about. I get a little further in the game. I don't know, like before all this, like I used to just like I said, I watch Family Guy all the time. I watch King of the Hill, right? But now that I know like there's things we have to talk about every podcast, I'm like, okay, I'll try to watch a different TV show. I'll try to do this, so at least I have something better to say than I watched Family Guy for the 10th time this week. But for those of you, I guess, that didn't get to experience it, back in the day, there was a really great show called That 70s Show, and Z-Chick brought up a while back, but they made that 90s show now, right? So, it's kind of them when they got older. I'll say I went in there with the lowest expectations possible. Like, I was like, hey, it's just... I'll watch it, for nostalgia, but I'm probably not going to like it. It shocked me. It really did. It's actually incredibly well done. Great cast of characters that they picked out for this one. Really, like if you like that 70s show, you're gonna like that 90s show. They didn't rely too much on the older characters, but when they do come into the show, they make a big impact. You know what I mean? Like there was definitely a lot of like, oh, that's nice. Oh, haha. I remember when he used to say that. Like, just I don't know. They made it work the whole time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. The funny part is, I mean, I didn't ever find Eric to be like a wet blanket. I don't know if you saw that 70s show or not.
Oh, we watched. Oh, yeah, my daughter found it.
Yeah, right. So like none of the characters really were to me. Like in that series, I think they all did a really good job having their own little personality and stuff. In this one, however, I will say that Eric's daughter, of a wet blanket, doesn't do a lot. Like I get what they're going for, but in the same breath too, it's just like, okay, she's just a little bit too awkward when she's talking. Like, but they have this one little Asian guy. He's so funny. His personality is just on fire. Like I would say, him and another character really brought it that show. They really made it come to life. Red and Kitty are just as hilarious as you remember them being.
Fun.
Yeah,
cool.
And adding that like modern twist, like I think, okay, how can I say this? The one thing I really have respect for that show is they had quite a bit of options doing this, right? Like, do we go full out 90s or do we kind of, just go somewhat? And no, they really went full 90s. Like they captured what it was like watching, watching Kitty understand how to open up AOL and use a computer for the first time. And all, like you lived that moment. It was like, yes, I totally remember showing my grandma this or my mom this for the first time. This is what it was like. This torturous moment of trying to explain a mouse, explain a keyboard. So I can't praise the show enough. They definitely had a really good idea making this one, and it worked out well. Like I'm looking forward to season 2 for it.
What is it on?
It's on Netflix.
Oh, okay. We stopped our subscription to Netflix. We're waiting on the next set of like strange. It was kind of dry for us at the time.
Yeah.
But if this is on there, this is this is one of our favorite TV shows.
Yeah,
We absolutely love it. Yeah,
like
the original. Yeah.
definitely the first 2 episodes you get a nice nostalgia trip, I'd say, and then they finally give the new characters a little more of a chance. Um, Another one I'd love to hear your opinion on later on, Mom, when you do watch it, is one of the new neighbors that Kitty and Red have. I think that she is just fantastic, so funny. You know, she is like that ditzy neighbor, but like in such a good way. Like she nails it.
Oh,
She knows she's funny, and she just keeps coming. Like it's great.
that's cool.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the only thing I didn't know about the show, like not to make any big thing about it, because he's got his stuff going on, but obviously Hyde is not in the show, um, which is
Mm.
unfortunate. But I like just watching the show and like kind of remembering the old ones. I almost feel like at one point he was going to be in, um, because
Oh.
there's one, like there's all the same kind of kids in the basement. I think it's actually the same
Hmm.
amount of kids. I think it's 5 or 6, whatever it is. Um,
Hmm.
anyway, there's one black girl that's in the show, and just her personality and everything. It totally is Hyde. And I even
It's
remember,
Hyde.
yeah, I even remember in the show that at one point he was dating a girl, and she almost looked similar to the girl that he was dating in the show at that time. So I was like, I feel like this
Oh.
was supposed to be his kid. And then obviously they changed that concept around and revamped the show. But it's, I don't know, to me it just like when you're watching, it's like, yeah, that's Hyde. Like that's Hyde to a T.
Oh.
That's exactly how like that cool, laid back, I don't really care attitude. Like that's him.
Right.
So yeah, I almost feel like that was supposed to be his kid. Then obviously they did some changes in the end, for the better.
So what's going on with him? I don't
I didn't know
keep up
either.
with.
Like I was watching the show and I brought it to Shan, and she's like, "Oh, you can't say that." And I was like, "Oh, I'm like, what happened?" And then I guess he had a whole bunch of sexual misconducts come up.
Oh, dang
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's unfortunate, right? I was like, "Damn,
Come
it
on.
always hurts when it's the childhood stuff, right?" It's like, I grew up watching that.
Yeah. That sucks. I hate hearing that.
Me too.
And I mean, come on. I don't know. I don't want to go political, but come on.
Yeah,
Cut it out.
exactly, right? I mean, I don't know. It's too bad.
Yeah,
Just like
it is.
what's his name, Macaulay McCartan, right? When he went through his, like, not he obviously his was more drug related, but still, like, when you hear all that, it's like, God damn, man, like I grew up watching you, like that sucks that you went through that in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Felt bad.
Funny enough, though, I did find out from my coworkers that they're gonna do a Home Alone 4, and they're gonna have him it, and they're gonna bring back the two robbers for like one finale.
What?
I know, right? That's kind of
My
cool.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
I was like, shit, man, they're all so old. I was like, but you know what? Like, it's been long enough where it's like they can almost get away with it depending how they do this.
Depending on how they do it. Yeah. Yeah. No, I had no idea. I hadn't heard anything.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my big show for the week. And then gaming wise, I was really hoping Z-Chick was on here because I was going to give her some words of encouragement to keep trekking through Star Wars because there is a couple hard battles I had in that game. I'm pretty sure now I'm at the end game. A brand new world opened up to me, and it seems like this is the last planet now. So, yeah, once I go through this, I'm pretty sure I'll reach the end. I did spoil something for myself, just because the game's been out for 4 years, right? So when you watch enough top 10 bosses, top 10 secret twists, and all that stuff, right? You're bound to see
Um,
some things in games. So, I do know a big villain is going to make his appearance soon. When it happens, though, I don't know. So that part's still kind of a mystery and exciting. And like as I've been playing the game, I'm like, okay, he hasn't shown up yet. He hasn't shown up yet. And now it's at that point where it's like, oh my gosh, so much has happened in the story, right? It's just like I want to see him now. Like this is going to be a great
mhm.
showdown. So yeah, I'm excited for part happens, but yeah, like if like I know I've talked to it before, and like some people have given their reactions to it. Some people are like, "Oh yeah, it's a great game," and others are like, "I couldn't get into it." My only question is how and like why could you not get into it? Because like we've described it, Z Chick and me, how this game literally takes you from like nothing to a Jedi, and the parts I just passed is going to make her feel so much better because even the game acknowledges that you learned how to become a Jedi, and it has like its own little special moment. And like when it did that, I just stood up and I was like, "Hell yes, it is a certified. I am him now." Like you just, I don't know, you feel badass, and then like as it ends, it's like, okay, here's the last planet, and it sends you off to it. So you go into that final battle just full of piss and vinegar, like you're ready to take
Oh,
on.
that's
Yeah, like it's just God, it's so good. I said, even if you don't like Souls game, I haven't had a story and a game like take this much of my interest. It's definitely been a long time, and yeah, it's so good. Like I said, just simple things like not being able to let you double jump until like you progress halfway through the game, or
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know I can wall run that, but yeah, your character doesn't know how to do that yet. Like you actually, I don't know. To me, I really felt like I was learning along the way, and it just, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. You just you go back to battles. There'll be some reoccurring bosses, right? And yeah, that second battle, you hop into them, like you feel the difference. You're like, oh, buddy, I'm blocking your attacks like nothing now. Like this isn't the same challenge. Yeah, it just, I don't know. They did a really, really good job. If I was to give that game any gripe, because I really thought, well, it's not a 10 out of 10. I don't believe any game really should be a 10 out of 10. This is definitely a solid 8 out of 10 for me. But the one thing I think that would hurt it the most is that there's no fast travel. So a lot of people were saying, they want bigger worlds, bigger maps. The maps are decent. Like for someone like me, like it's big enough where you're trekking from one field to the other, um, and like you're gonna be in that level for whatever 30 or 40 minutes, right? So I don't really want to be bigger. What they should have done is there's little meditation rings throughout these levels. So that's just like how
Yeah.
Dark Souls has their bonfire, right? They
Mhm.
should have had that as fast. I think that would have made the game a little bit more exciting. Because the worst part about it is when you finally make it to the end of the level, my first thought in my head is, Jesus Christ, I have to go all the way back to the beginning now again.
Right.
Right? So, just a
Mhm.
little, I don't know, life changes that way. And the other one I do agree with that a lot of people complained about is that this is such a beautiful game. So much is going on, but there's no side quests. The side quests are find the collectibles, and then there's no hint on how to find them. They have
Mm.
4 different bounty secret or bounty what do you call them, hunters, but they're like secret bosses. You don't know they are until the achievement pops up, but like they don't indicate at all that they're secret or that you have to find
Oh.
them. Yeah, right. And there's like find 4 of the legendary beasts, and like I've come across these things, and until I saw the achievement, I was like, oh, okay, that was supposed to be like something special, but it didn't feel that way, and there was no like side mission to like indicate that that was something I should have been focusing on too. So that would have helped a little bit, but like really like to have that as my only 2 complaints, like I was like, that's not bad at all for a game.
Oh, no, nice. I watched my son play it, and I haven't watched him play. I don't think he's played it for a minute now, but he was completely absorbed in it when he was playing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's so good. It reminds me of the older video games. Like I think even Zelda, you had to learn. There was progression with it.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You couldn't just start using your slingshot, or I don't know, trying to think of the different things.
No,
Like you
you're
just
right. Like
couldn't.
that is
Hmm.
100% true. You nailed it. That's
Yeah,
exactly how I felt. Um,
yeah,
Ocarina of Time definitely was very similar to that, where like you said,
yeah.
you couldn't fight Ganon at the end, even though if you knew how to do the battle, like it I don't know,
Oh
it
no.
didn't click the same way.
Mm-mm. No, you gotta learn. Trying to think which one it was where they really focus on the crossbow or on your bow and arrow. Sorry, not crossbow, but
Yeah, there
your
was that
horseback
one,
riding.
the slingshot,
Hmm.
right? The boomerang. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, you had to learn those things, and I don't know. I like that progression. Uh, that's where I think Destiny was the same way for me. The early. That's why I'm fussy about it now. There's really. It feels like everything's kind of handed to you, And instead of it being like, I probably need to progress and learn this thing, they just go, okay, here's the highest powered weapon you can have in the game. Go have fun. Let's go like, wait a
Yep.
minute.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always call it like me first in the gimme gimmies. I'm always like, it's like a bunch of little kids got together and said, we're going to give everybody everything they did. But sometimes that's not the best approach, you know.
You know, I was
It's not.
trying to think too for so long, like what it was, and yeah, no, you made it really clear. I think I think that's honestly what I was missing in the game here, right? It's just that progression feeling. Like
Mm,
Red Dead Redemption was, well, you know, a fantastic game. I'm looking at it right now. Like I love the story and all that, but yeah, like I didn't feel like I was getting better, right? Like I'm a cowboy at the start and
mhm.
I'm a cowboy at the end.
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
and like I
Yeah,
said, nothing
yeah.
wrong with those kind of games, but yeah, like you're right. There isn't many games nowadays that like make you feel like you've become something by the end of it.
It kind of feel, yeah. It kind of just throws you in. I guess there might be an assumption even in the gaming world that that's what people want.
Yeah,
You know, like, oh, well, that's what everybody wants, so we're going to give them what they want. It's like, well, there's something to be said about working. You know, when you work for something, there's something to be said for that. You know.
even like other podcasts I listen to all the time, the Super Show. Um,
Hmm.
they say it too, you know, like everyone always wants the same thing, like these big, huge open worlds, you know, and fill them full of life. Like I don't get that. Like I don't need to explore something that's going to take me 100+ hours. Like, you know, there's a lot you could do in a very small amount of space. You know, like give me, I don't care. You can have me in a castle for the entire game as long as I, you know, feel like I'm progressing or moving further. You know, I guess
Hmm.
with my character in that castle.
That's probably what I mean. That probably does come from. I don't know about you. I can't. I mean, I don't want to speak for anybody else, but it probably for me comes from playing tabletop gaming before. Yeah, of course, I played video games before that, but
Yeah.
you know, our video games were not like RPGs growing up. You know.
Yeah, that's very
Uh,
true. Like the Dungeons and Dragons experience, eh?
mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, our RPGs came out of books. You know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I absolutely love, you know, that I can play an RPG now, right? But at the same time, I think that's probably where mine comes from anyway. I can't speak for anybody else, but I definitely feel like I love watching my character grow and learn and just get better.
That and like you know, like just I don't know, sitting around with your friends, right, in a circle or
Hmm.
whatever the heck it is. Um, it's such a unique experience. Like you know, like you just said, like going even
Yeah.
from level 1 to level 5, however far you make it, right? It's
Oh
just it's
gosh, yeah.
the choices you make, right? The things you're gonna experience and collect along the way. Like yeah, you're right. It's really like nothing. Like no video game can capture like
Mm.
what you could do in those books.
Oh no, 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 no,
And
absolutely
what
not.
your you know, your dungeon master can even come up with sometimes. Like if you got like a really good storyteller, oh, you're set for the night.
Oh, absolutely. Ours, we went through all of the Shadowrun modules at one point. I'll never forget
Oh,
this. And there really weren't weren't any, I mean, there just wasn't any more that was being produced at the time. We were burning through them so fast. And so he just started writing his own and he added predators to the game. It's like you guys are so overpowered because we've been playing for years, you know.
yep.
So we were all so overpowered. It was kind of ridiculous to be honest, how overpowered we were. But he wanted it to be a challenge. And we were just like, oh, you're such an asshole. And the only hint you got was you hear a clicking sound. I'll never forget that as long as I live.
um,
And one of my oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Mom. It's funny you say that because in the show, that you're talking about, oh gosh, show us now. Um, what lies in the shadows? I think that was the one we were talking about before.
Oh, what we do in the
What we do in
shadows.
the shadows, yeah. So
Mhm.
that guy, right, is also, like I said, in the IT crowd, right? And they actually have an episode where they do a Dungeons and Dragons night, and it's so good.
Oh, I might have to watch that.
I was gonna
I don't
say
know
the
where I
fact
can.
that you like that, I think you'd really, at least that one episode, you definitely get a good kick out of it.
I wonder. I don't even know where I could watch. Like, where can you watch episodes of that?
It is on Netflix. Back in the
Okay.
day, it used to be even on Crackle.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll have to. After you started posting the pictures in the Discord, I was like, oh, I may have to watch this because he is so hilarious. He's phenomenal. He's just,
Yeah. Oh,
there's nobody like him.
again, right?
My
Person with
daughter.
just like a booming personality, right? When they come in there.
Yeah, he just stuff he's done on what we do in the shadows. Like my daughter will walk through sometimes and just play sound clips. We don't even have to say anything to each other. She'll just play a sound clip from her phone. And we both know exactly what it means. And that's all that has to happen. And we lose it. We just start laughing. There's,
That was the episode. I put a link for that one. It was yeah, what their boss basically gets in charge of what do you call it? Um, she's like the event planner for all the business guys that comes in, and
yeah.
yeah. Anyway, she has to make like a guys' night for them, and then she gets the help with the two IT guys, and they make a Dungeons and Dragons night for her.
Oh, that's great.
It's good, yeah.
They only let me play. I, it's so sad. Every time I say it out loud, my daughter looked at me like I was like I had, like I had like coming out of my ears when I said, well, they didn't want me to play it first because I was a girl. And she was just like, what did you just say to me? It's like, wait, you're too late to be offended. Like
Yeah.
you can't be offended. She was like, what do you mean? And I was like, look, it was the 80s. They weren't going to have it.
Yep.
So I got lucky.
Mine was our history teacher. I was really nice of him. He would on his lunch breaks start a D&D club because quite a few people, wanted to play, and yeah, he was just a fantastic storyteller, a really cool guy.
Oh, to have a history teacher doing
I
that.
know, right?
Ooh.
I was like, oh, we're so lucky.
Yeah, that's really cool. I can imagine the stories and the settings that he put you all in.
Oh,
That's
he
really
was
cool.
fantastic. And then the cool part was as as we got older, right, we really got back into magic. And then like, he was one of those guys who was like, let me see what you're doing. Like let me get an idea of this game. And it was funny. I think I don't know, within 2 weeks he came into school and he had this huge, massive box. He's like, so I bought some cards. And then, he got into the
My
game, right? And he ended up
God.
making tournaments for us and stuff. Like it was really cool. He was a really good guy. Like I said, just a
Oh,
fantastic teacher.
and those are, when somebody's in teaching to be a teacher. I don't know. I don't want to get too opinionated about it, but when you find those people, Josie my daughter's name is Josie. She
Yeah,
has a few teachers that are like that. And yeah, they've really made an impression, and the impact they've made on her life has just been so positive. Yeah,
yeah,
that's good. I like hearing that. My
yeah.
RGM was an artist, and he would let us roll up our characters. Like we could use the base characters in the front of the book, and there were some side characters that were in the back of the book. And he was like, "Well, if you don't like what's in the front, I don't care. Just grab something, whatever you like, whatever you find in the book that you like, the core book." And I picked a side character out of the back of the book. And so he would, as we played, as our characters progressed, he would draw our characters out for us. And what he thought he would use like our facial features and place it onto the character.
Oh, that's
And so he would,
cool.
yeah. So you kind of had that progression, like he progressed it. Like if you got injured every once in a while, he'd give you a sketch of your character injured. It's like, and we all, we're very good friends. He's like, there you go. That's what you get for being an asshole. It's like, shut up. whatever happened in the whatever happened in the game
Yeah.
for that round anyway. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's why I probably prefer building out characters RPGs. Anything that I feel like I'm building on and I can see progression. Like even with Crisis, you get that progression. It's not very deep in the first one, but the second and third one gets a little bit deeper. The second suit I probably prefer over the third suit, which probably sounds backward to some people, but I like the progression with the second suit better.
I was going to ask
But
you too
it's
if
the same.
Crisis had that same feeling when you were playing through it, especially going through all 3 games, right?
Yeah, it really did. And the first one, of course, just didn't have the technology, just wasn't there at the time. The second one, definitely. And the third one, oh, absolutely. But it's so weird. I still prefer the first one. If I had to play them all over again, I'd still go back to the first one. They use the actual like the predator clicking in it when you turn the suit on. I don't want to give too much away, but when you cloak yourself, you get the clicking sound.
That's so
kinda
cool that they added that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You don't hear it at all. I don't think you hear it in the third one at all, or they changed it. But the first and second one, you can hear it. It's pretty clear. I think Final Fantasy 14, is it 14? Got recommended. Craziest 44, he recommended it. I just have time to look up and see if I think I can get it on Xbox. I have no idea. I don't know if that's a PlayStation thing.
Is that the massive online one, Mom? Or because I think 15 is the one with like the car.
I have no idea. I know each one. I remember my son playing through them, and Craziest reminded me of this too. Each one is so different. They're almost like standalone.
So true.
And I remember my son getting a few of those. I'm just gonna look in the store real quick while we're talking and see if it's weird. Did you sneeze?
Yeah, sorry.
Bless you. I
Thank
heard
you.
her laugh.
Cheyenne laughter because I tried to hold it back. Yeah, I was gonna say for myself, I know I played 7 and I really did enjoy that one. That was actually pretty good. I didn't get all the way through, like I played the old PlayStation 1 version. And to this day I'm still playing Final Fantasy Tactics on the Game Boy Advance, but that one was really good too. I want to try the PlayStation 1 version because everyone talks pretty highly of that one.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Let me see here.
Oh yeah, I think. I have. I think it's 13. That's the one with Lightning. That character. Hers is pretty big because I think she had either 2 or 3 different games just from that Final Fantasy. Oh, and I have the one that the Juggernaut always makes me play too. What is it? XO. I think it's a little more gory than the other Final Fantasies, but it's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of good ones. I think 6 and 8 are the ones that are usually always offered up to try. They're apparently pretty good. Solarial, actually, I think she just finished Final Fantasy VIII, the remaster.
Okay. Well, I think that's it. If I know my Roman numerals properly, I think that's it right there.
I know.
Oh,
sometimes I look, I'm like, okay, so what is that now? Did you ever play any Final Fantasy games, Sleepy?
Oh.
No, she might be, because she's in and out because of work all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was that was basically my week. Oh man. You know what's funny though, Mom, before we jump off that topic, I will say this, like I know what you mean. I can still remember to this day how my character Jimmy the Dwarf died in the Dungeons and Dragons experience. I remember there was this like he really wasn't even much of a friend. It was just this this guy that mooched off me pretty much all the time. But anyway, I don't know, like whatever. I felt bad for the dude. And I remember we were playing the game, and his character and two of our other buddies there, we were all taking on a gelatinous cube of some sort that had like poison ability, acid, and all this ridiculousness. And I somehow made myself like halfway out of the cave that we were in, and I had the option to either, run away or try a dive attack. And I remember that guy was stuck in the cube, and I felt bad. I was like, you know what? I didn't really fully understand Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I didn't know that when you die, you die.
Oh no!
Right? So I was like, oh man, like I
Yeah.
can't let him just, perish. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a dive attack. And I remember I messed up the roll, and the teacher's like, so you dive down, your sword misses and shatters, and your whole body begins to sink to the cube.
Oh no!
And the irony of it all is during this fiasco that I was sinking into him, I somehow managed to help the other guy jump out, so he was rescued and saved, and then I slowly just started to melt and die.
That's awful.
And like I said, he's a great storyteller, right? So he gave me the option. He's like, "Do you want to make a new character?" He's like, "Or would you like me to continue your story?" And I was like, "Let's see what happens," right? So he brings me back as a zombie, and it just became a whole like I guess ridiculous adventure with that character afterwards because body parts would fall off at random. I'd be useless most of the time.
Oh,
But like he made it funny along the way, right? So I said he was a good guy. I loved him.
we had. Oh,
Audio
go ahead.
issue.
Oh, no worries,
Oh.
Sleepy.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to talk. I was like, oh my god, Trina's not hear me.
No,
No.
sorry, you didn't come through. Were you saying, did you play a Final Fantasy game?
No, I was oh, sorry, my phone was acting weird, so I'm like, oh my goodness. But I want to play. I just don't have the console for it currently, so it's here.
Is there nothing on PC for you for Final Fantasy?
I don't think so. I might have to do more research because I do want to play. It was interesting. There's multiple games I want to play
Yeah.
or try playing, but I don't know. I gotta do more research about it.
Well, I say we know one
And,
streamer that'd be very proud of you if you did. I know the Juggernaut would
Yeah?
be so happy.
Oh no, if I tell him he's not, oh, I'm there in a heartbeat. I got you, bestie. I'm like, geez. But as when Mom was saying earlier about the whole your girl thing, right?
Oh yeah.
I had that situation happen to me because like I had my brother who's 3 years older than me had friends and they play Sonic, on a GameCube. Do you guys remember the GameCube?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, I want to play, and I was like 9, he was like 13, and he's like, you want to play video games? I'm like, duh, and the rest of his friends were like, sure, try it out, and then one of his friends like, you don't let a girl play video games? I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, my little 9-year-old self is just like, I feel insulted.
And righteously so.
Like, and they're like, hey, like, why do you have to take her like that? And my brother's like, don't, why you talk to my little sister like that? And like, they're like, all right, you to beat him, then you're better than him because he's stuck at playing video games. Anyways, I'm like, I got you. And then it was like 3-1. It's like 3-0. So I'm like, ha. It was funny. It was great. But yeah, it's yeah. I'm just sitting here listening to the whole conversation.
It's funny you guys say that too, because like when I was like growing up, like I was pretty much the first girl I met that played video games. Before that, like most of the girls like in my school, wherever the case was, were always like, ew, video games. Ew, you're a nerd. Right? Like they were like zero interest, zero like wanting to try it out. And then when Shine was like, yeah, I played Tomb Raider, I was like, holy shit, you played Tomb Raider.
I mean, I play video games on my phone, that counts, but like
Oh yeah.
on the PC, will be like Maple Story and like kind of those type of games. And I tried to play CS:GO and League, and I kind of bullied off of League.
Oh,
Which is funny. I find it funny now because my brother had it, and my brother's like, "You want to play?" I'm like, "Sure." And people on my team in league was like, "You suck. You know, why are you playing this champion? You suck." And I was like, "I started playing. This is not my account. This is my brother's. I just started playing because I never play this again. Uninstall." And then like, I tried to my brother, my oldest brother. And he was like, "All right, move," and he's just like, whoop all their asses. And then they're like, "Oh my god, how you get so good?" And he's like, "Don't ever bully my little sister again." And
good
then
for him.
yeah, and he's my brothers are like really. I love my brothers. They are very protective of me, so they're like, you know. For CS:GO, I had to cover for Otto, which is my boyfriend, because he had to use the restroom. So he's like, "Can you play for me?" And this is the first time ever. Like I actually started playing video games again, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then I shot my teammate, and they yelled at me, and I'm so sorry. I'm like, why would he's like, why did you kill me? I'm like, why were you behind me? And then same thing with Valorant. He was like, hey, just funny story. I didn't get into Valorant into like a year and a half or 2 years within like COVID, and when it first came out, because he was like, again, I gotta use the restroom. Can you play for me? I'm like, what is this? What I was like, what is this like Overwatch and like CS:GO moment right now? Like, and then I got addicted to it, and then here I am playing it all the time. But yeah, it's interesting. I've seen a lot of other streamers who are like really popular. They'll hop on my tell like hi, and they're like, and what their team like, oh, we're dodging because you're a girl. I'm like, oh, I felt that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was just interesting. But yeah, try to rewind the topic, but
You know, it's funny too. Like, I never understand why people always say that. Like, if you play a mobile game, like you're not a gamer. Like, a game's a game. I don't know. Like, maybe because I like grew up like with the Genesis and Nintendo. Like, there's a lot of mobile games now that have more in depth than some of those old games did. You know, so I don't know why people always say that. Like, if you like it, you're having fun connecting the dots or whatever the case is. Like, go for it, enjoy it. That's your game.
I really like Pokemon though. That's one game I really do enjoy.
Hell yeah, Pokemon's great.
On the like old school Pokemon. I wouldn't say like this modern Pokemon, but like Pokemon Shield and Sword, it's okay. I beat Shield. I'm trying to beat Sword, but I'm just like it's the same story, but with the Sword, the legendary Pokemon. I guess. I think there's little like slight changes, but what I heard is not that much different from from Shield. So
Yeah, I guess
that's
kind of
my
what they
own.
used to do with the Game Boy games, right? Like Blue and Red was the same game, just different Pokemon. Well, at least 8 different Pokemon that you could get.
Yeah, that what I'm pretty sure it was the same thing with Diamond. Pretty sure.
Yeah, you're right.
I forgot Diamond. What else? But but yeah, but I think one game I was. Oh, question for Mindful and Mom. What is your I guess comfort game like with like on or off stream or just daily like to de-stress?
Oh, I'm gonna guess moms. It's definitely either gonna be Stardew Valley or Minecraft.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Currently, well, I don't know because I got back into Minecraft recently. Probably Stardew for now. Yeah, Stardew for now. I'll go back to Minecraft. I think I burned myself out on it. But yeah, for the most part, Stardew Valley right now.
What about you, Mindful?
um, Like I usually do play Gems of War, to be honest with you, like quite a bit, but I don't know, the last few months I kind of dipped out a little bit of it. I'm trying to think, what have I really been going to nonstop? Yeah, wow.
For me, it's Genshin.
Yeah.
Not really offering Genshin.
Yeah, I guess no. I'll also stick with Gems of War. I don't know why. It just like I just like match 3 games, and it's RPG and match 3, so it's literally the perfect mix for me. But I Genshin for you. Genshin's pretty relaxing.
Yeah, and like when you guys were talking about like open worlds and stuff like that, right? It kind of made me think of Genshin, because like Genshin is fun, right? Of course, there's little like commission quests, world quests, and then like main stories of the game. And what kind of irritated me was like, in order to proceed with the storyline, you have to be at a certain rank, your adventure rank. But if you're not at that adventure rank, you can't continue the story. Meaning you have to do like all these side quests. I'm a type of person, I like to see progression, right? Like what adventures my MC goes through, like their whole story with it. But at the same time, I'm kind of impatient once I just want to get to the story. I want to know what's happened.
Yeah. They do that with Destiny. They make you grind. They call it the grind. Like they'll give you the main storyline, and they'll let you get so far with it, and then you'll bump into things that you just can't. You can try it all day long. You're not going to get through it. You've got to go do the side stuff and grind on the side stuff to get your light level up in order to come back and finish that storyline.
Yeah, that's exactly what Genshin. I'm just like, just
Yeah.
right now I'm adventure rate 22, but I need 23 to continue the main story, and I'm just like, I am Arrow. I just want to finish the story, and I have like 4 other worlds or 4 other towns I have to explore, and like I'm going back and forth with the first town and with the second town, and they have worship statues that you get rank from that too. And then just like they put it in weird high places where you're like, how do I even get up there? If you climb, you lose stamina, and it's just like I it's a lot of work, dude. I don't know.
See, like
I
in
watched.
those games too, like I think like when you're talking like open world, like that's the kind of games that need to be open world. Like when I go
Mhm.
into like a massive online game like Genshin or Destiny, right? I'm expecting to be overwhelmed. I want to see multiple planets or multiple levels or whatever the case is, right? Like you said, I want to have like my quest log so full that I don't even know where to begin with it. But when you're playing like I don't know, a single player game or whatever is coming out this year, right? I don't think those ones need to be so expansive and like so much to do in them. Like, yeah, sure, the price tag's gone up. I get it. It's you want a lot now out of your $100 game or $90 game, whatever the price is you're paying. But like I don't know, it's too much. When you have 10 or 15 different games coming out, like I can't plug in 100 hours into every single one of them. And if I'm going to do that, then yeah, I want it like you guys are saying. I want it to be like a Destiny, or I want it to be like a Genshin, so that I can really enjoy that, experience it with my friends. I don't know. That's just me.
Well, with Genshin, you could co-op, right?
Yeah.
So you could do a commission quest and you could do world quests together. You just can't, of course, continue the main story because that you're supposed to do that slow. But what there's tel telepoints. Well, I teleports. There you go. I'm blanking out on the word. And it's just like you get that, and then the worship statue help with your development as a character, as the main character. But it's just like it's I don't know. Like I said, it's so hard because if you co-op with someone, you can't basically activate or like worship the statue because they won't you. And now I have to go back to solo and then worship it and then go back to playing with my friend. And it's a pain, dude. That's the one thing I don't like about Genshin. But besides that, the music, the art, it's good. But
I get you.
there's a few slight changes that needs to be better.
And like we were saying earlier, right, with games, like I mean, to only have that as the complaint, like I mean that's pretty solid. Like that's definitely another like 8 out of 10 game, right? Like there's not too much is doing wrong and just a few little life changes.
Yeah.
I watched the first minute. I watched the chick play it for a minute. Gosh, it's been months ago when my laptop was still alive. How's that? I think I rated her after I read Winnie the Pooh on Wednesday, and I watched her play for a minute. Her and her daughter, I think, were co-oping,
Okay.
and so I watched the chick play it, and I hadn't seen it since then. And I watched her name is Rachel. I watched Rachel play it tonight on stream, and I think after I saw Rachel play it tonight, I'm much more interested in it. I don't know that it's something that I can play because I don't know if it's just specific to PlayStation. But
Yeah,
after
PlayStation, PC, and mobile. I think now just Xbox and
Yeah.
Nintendo hasn't got it.
Yeah. Basically.
yeah, it's a beautiful game. But I noticed that everything she was trying to reach was they had put those really up high. Like you
Yeah.
mentioned that she couldn't. I was like, how do you get up? Like, how do you get up to that thing?
It's a whole puzzle. It's just like,
Mhm.
okay, this without leaving a bit up, then you die. You're like, okay, that's not it. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's
It doesn't. It definitely has a Zelda vibe to me. Definitely.
it
Like,
does.
mhm. Yeah, I think I could get into it.
I, Mom, I think you like it because it's like if you play other like Zelda games, like
Mhm.
I wouldn't say that like OG Zelda games. Like I
Mhm.
played Breath of the Wild, um, but I kind of got frustrated with it. So I'm like, ah, F this. So I stopped playing it.
Breath of the
Um,
Wild is just huge. I mean, it's just huge. And there really is no straight path forward. It's just go and sort it out, go figure it out. So,
yeah,
yeah, I get that.
I am curious from you guys though, like talking about that subject, especially Breath of the Wild is a perfect example. Like now that games are like more than they used to be. Um, like I
Mhm.
remember before, this was a lot for a game, but I was still willing to dish it out. Right now, we're up a little bit higher in the price point. Even
Mhm.
like when Jimmy's listing off all the games that are coming out this year, my first thought is, yeah, but I could probably only get one or two of those. In all honesty, like I mean, minus the ones that appear on Game Pass, because thank God for Game Pass. But
Right.
the ones that you have to pay the full ticket price for, like I don't know, like even Diablo, I'm kind of debating. It's like, no, maybe I'll wait for that to drop in price. But I guess the point I'm trying to
Mhm.
get to is, for you guys, right? What is it that you're willing to pay for when it comes to those games, or what are you looking for that $90 price tag? Like, are you guys looking for 100 hours? Are you looking for a big world? Are you just looking for something that's entertaining? Like, what would justify that value for you to pay it?
Uh, I just looked at Destiny Lightfall, literally like a few minutes ago. And when I saw the price tag on it, I was like, because they changed, the structure of Destiny. They made it a seasonal game. I mean, we've seen a lot of these games do that after Fortnite came out, and Epic Games made it very clear to the other companies, hey, this is the way that, if you make big bank on these games, is making these seasonal passes. And so you don't get DLC with Destiny anymore. You get a seasonal pass.
Yeah.
So you get the core game, which is called Lightfall, and you get, you know what? I'm just going to click on it while we're talking. I forget how many seasonal passes you get with it. I'm going to try to play the trailer. I'm going to see the trailer.
Are they make
Pre-order to instant. an exotic weapon, right? You get Lightfall, the annual pass. Usually, it's a full year of content. So that gives you, if you get the core, just Lightfall by itself, it's $50. But
Okay.
if you get Lightfall, the annual pass upgrade, Lightfall premium pack, and then Lightfall, which I don't know what any of that means, it is $100.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And like for you, is it worth the 100, Mom? Do you think, or no?
Well, I used to. So I would buy Destiny every year for myself, and it was $100. But
Wow.
I'm guessing it's comparable because you get a whole new storyline. I'm gonna get, like, when I bought, even for D1, when I bought the Iron Lords. I don't know if it was quite 100. It was probably a little less than 100 back then. But it was like my gift to myself for the year. It was like my Earth Day gift.
Okay.
So I would do that. Yeah, that's the way that I looked at it. Um, this, I'm going to see. So pre-order, you instantly get an exotic weapon, an exotic ghost, an exotic emote, and a legendary emblem. So they give you stuff. And you get Lightfall, which is the core game, a new raid, two dungeons that are going to be released in season 21-23, an exotic sparrow, which is the bike you ride, a catalyst. That's just an ornament for the weapon. Oh, here it is. And you get the season passes. So you get 4 season passes along with this, plus 2 dungeons. Also includes, let me see, some cosmetic stuff. They're trying to throw more stuff into it, and I get it. But
So
I'm
for
not
you,
really
you're
there.
like, if they were like, I know they're not going to continue much longer or after Lightfall, but if they were to have more added in for you, you're mostly looking to get like a nice campaign story out of it and like a few cosmetic freebies and stuff like that along the way. For you, that would justify that price point, right?
I'm the cosmetic stuff. I'm going to be honest. Once I had my build structured out for my Titan, because I just run a Titan.
Yeah.
I really didn't see any need. A lot of people run all 3 characters. A warlock, a Titan, or a hunter.
That's a lot.
And yeah, it's a lot to keep up with too. So I was like, nah, I've got my build. My build works. It functions pretty well. I tinker around with it every once in a while if something new drops. So I'm not that high on, like, getting those exotic pieces in, or those cosmetic things. I just want a good campaign, and I want all the, what I call, the DLCs. They're calling seasonal stuff.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay.
yeah.
No, that's pretty fair.
Yeah, it's cheaper if you buy it all up front too, to be honest. You'll save a little bit of money if you buy it all up front under that $99 tag.
And like you said, it's that one treat throughout the whole year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Yeah.
your big one that you're investing in. I get that. What about you,
Yeah,
Sleepy? What justifies like a $90 or $80 game to you? Like, what would you be expecting out of it?
I don't. I kind of agree with Mom a bit too. But also I'm really picky when it comes for me to like be interested into a game. For me, it's more about like how Mom was saying about like a good story to it, because I really enjoy games with like a story behind it, and also probably graphics, like how pretty everything is, or how like how like the fight and the appearance of it, I guess. That's a better way to put it. But they are there are some stuff where there are games that I do want to get, but I'm a broke college student, so
No, I feel you. That's that's what I'm saying. Like,
Mhm.
if someone's gonna offer you this game, like especially at that price level, right? Like I said, I'm with you. Like I might not be able to afford one good game throughout the year.
Mhm.
So it's like what's gonna get my money in the long run? And I guess maybe that's
Yeah.
why sometimes like I don't get as passionate as Jimmy or Fundead or else might be that talks about games. Not because I don't like those games. I'm excited to play Resident Evil 4, right? But in the back of my mind, I guess the cheap side of me is like, yeah, but do you want to pay it for $100? Like, do you want to pay it for 90?
Mm-hmm.
I liked it, but how much did I like it?
Mm-hmm. Was it worth it? Yeah.
Yeah, basically, like, am I getting my money's worth out of this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like I'm not picky. Like it doesn't need to be like I said, gigantic world. It doesn't need to be a 40 or 60 hour game. If for me, like I would just want a game that I could play once and then want to go back and play again. And I find that that's something that a lot of games don't have nowadays. You're gonna play it once. You might lie to yourself, say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that achievement where I play this twice." But if it's 40 or 60 hours, you're probably not going to get around to it anytime soon, unless like you
That-
really like that particular game, right?
I'm like that with anime. I'm just saying, my main preference in my anime is basically like that.
Yeah.
So
Like to me, that's worth it. If I could play that game 2 or 3 more times, like I feel I got a good dollar value out of it then, because I obviously
Mhm.
must have enjoyed it to, go through that same cutscene or whatever that could be.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and like even if you fall out of a game, right? And then like if you do, for me, a big thing for me is like if I fall out of a game, right? Like I'll play it when I have the time, and then maybe it's like a week or two, or maybe even a year later, I'm like, oh, I should start playing it again. That's where I think I'm like, okay, it's worth it. Every time you like fall, like if you to enjoy that game again, basically, I think it would be worth it. But if you just play once for like, just for the like the beginning, and it's not worth it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel anyways about it.
No, I mean, that's why literally Bethesda always gets my money, because I can play Oblivion, I can play Fallout over and over again and never get bored of those games. So to me, like those games are worth their value, But like not again, I love Red Dead Redemption, not bash it, but it's one of those games where I played it, I enjoyed it, and I will probably never go back and relive that story again because it's too long. I don't have time to go through all that.
Yeah, I think that the if it's replayable, I think that is the big selling point for me too.
Yeah.
Can I go back in? And that's where I think I like Fallout. I started playing Fallout 4. I had never played it. Maybe 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago. I need to pick it back up. But that's the cool part about those games is you can pick them back up and take back off with them, and it's gonna be worth it. It's
Yeah, like the story's
I
just
enjoyed
easy to
playing it.
pop back into, right? You're not really gonna forget too much that occurred.
Yeah. Um, that was where and that big controversial thing that happened with Bungie and Destiny when they sunset whole parts of their story and never allowed anybody access to them again, because you thought, okay, I want to try that again, and I want to go at it a little bit differently this time, and you just always assume you'll be able to go back and do those things, and they literally changed their terms of service and took them away from everybody. It was the weirdest thing.
Wow.
The strangest thing. Yeah. So when you play through, like if you go to play through Destiny 2 now, you're not getting the true storyline because they closed it. Basically, they closed it down so you couldn't access it anymore. And there's all sorts of theories online about why they did it. And they split with a massive company and tried to take on a lot of very expensive projects. And you just got to wonder if the money isn't there to support it anymore.
It's funny though, like what you were saying earlier, just like with your love for Destiny 1, because like I mean I felt that too when I played that game, and it's like it's weird. Like I liked Halo. I liked Halo a lot. I loved, 1 to 3. Got up to Reach was when Bungie finally hopped out. Like they did a great job with that series. But yeah, Destiny was like completely different, and it was so good. Like I remember I was talking to you about it, right? And like I wanted to learn that story, and like Destiny 1 kind of teased you along the way. Like I told you
Mhm.
before, I feel Destiny 2 kind of dropped off and didn't really satisfy you that same way with that storyline.
Mhm.
But yeah, number one was just it was so damn good. Like it was just really
Mhm.
addictive. Yeah. Like
Yeah, very easy to play, very easy to hop
yeah,
into.
like they did such a great
Yeah,
job. Like that's again, that'd be another game where I would have had no problem, like you said, buying those season passes
yeah,
because the game was worth it. It was really fun to play.
yeah. I did. You know, when we bought this Xbox, it came along with the Master Chief. Speaking of Halo, it came along with the entire collection. I got the entire Halo collection. I think it was called the Master Chief Collection or something like that. So we got every single Halo with this Xbox when I bought it,
Oh, nice.
and I played through. I want to say we started to play through the last one, the next to last one, and we did. It didn't click with either my daughter or I. It didn't click with either one of us. And then I went back and tried to play the very first one, and I missed a chunk of gaming when I stopped gaming. And when these games started rolling, developers were deciding, companies were deciding, this is the layout of the buttons. These are how the buttons are going to work. And my son warned me before I played it. He was like, "Mom, that's when companies were still just sorting out how to do their button layout." I couldn't drive that Jeep. What are the Jeeps called? Oh no, I
Oh,
just
the warthogs.
burned my
Yeah.
the warthogs. I drive that thing in complete circles. I just can't even with that thing. Um, but I got maybe about halfway through that storyline. I need to pick that back up too because I did enjoy the first one. I
Yeah.
thought that was fun.
No, I mean
Yeah, and I
that
played
one's
the
really good.
online PvP stuff too. So
Yeah, one, two, they were fantastic. Again, you guys know me now at this point. I'm a big fan of Reach though, and only because again, it has an RPG in there. So
right.
for me, that was a selling point. Like whether you're doing the campaign, whether you're just doing like fights, you're always leveling up your Spartan, and I think you get like to unlock different suits of armor or like different things that you can use throughout the game, but that alone made it really good. And Reach has a fantastic story too. If you get the chance anyway, that one's pretty fun to play through.
Okay. Yeah. Well, look, I'm assuming I have it. I don't know.
Yeah, if you got the Master Chief collection, you'll have it. And then it kind of lets you
Yeah.
know how number one starts off because Reach, even though it was the last one done, it's the prequel to the entire like series.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I will look. I'm actually gonna look at our because I have my Xbox open in front of me.
No worries.
I'm gonna look at our full library and see. I'm sure it's in there.
Um, out of, yeah, out of respect for Fundead though, we'll just hear your guys' thoughts if you had any. His question was, if you could use any tool or weapon from a video game, which one would you enjoy? For me, like, maybe just because I've been playing a lot of it lately. But even just talking about Halo too, energy swords. I just, or in this case, lightsabers that I'm using right now. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is with them, but like no matter which shape, form, whatever they come in, they've always just seemed super cool. Like it's such a basic futuristic item, but I don't know, just the different designs you can have, the
Mm-hmm.
different approaches people take with how they want to look. I don't know, just to me, there's always been really cool. I just thought that was such a neat weapon, and that would be something I would totally want to have like nowadays, just to show off. It'd just be neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Have you seen that? The guy that designs those on YouTube?
I have not. Ooh.
I'll have to find it. Yeah, there's a guy that designs those and sells them. I don't know that they actually function, but um, they look like they function. I don't know.
I know I used to have a coworker. He went to Disney World, I think it was, and there's a part in there now where you can build your own lightsaber. And he brought it back to show me.
Oh,
He's like, Matt, you're gonna get so jealous.
oh, oh, that's cool. Yeah, we love Star Wars.
That, or I was gonna say the portal gun from like the Portal series. That thing's kind of cool too.
Oh,
That'd be a really neat
I,
tool to have
I,
nowadays.
yeah. I sat next to my son while he played Portal 2. He was like, I really want you to watch me play this, Mom. And so he literally bought it that day. He put it in and he went through that game. He went through the entire game. I sat beside him and he played through the entire game. And he's his high problem solver
Yeah,
is that ability. So he went through the entire game. That was the funniest game, and I love. Oh my God, the
just the wit
the
to it, eh?
script. Oh, so funny, so well done. I really enjoyed that game. Yeah.
How about you guys though? What kind of things would you want to bring into today's world or in your life?
That's a hard question. I don't.
You mean there's nothing from Genshin you want?
Oh, that's a lot from Genshin I want.
It,
Um,
it's which part of Genshin, right? It's like which thing do I want from Genshin?
if you're talking about weapon wise, there's some pretty cool swords that I would think it would be pretty cool to have. If you're talking about the guys in Genshin,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't see
yeah.
it. Because there's a lot of them are like really religious. I'm like, no offense to my partner Otto. Okay, he's great. I love him. Don't get me wrong.
That's okay. I'm
But
sure if
there's
Z-Chick was here right now, she'd be jumping in with this one.
um, but that's just a whole different story. This one out there, I do love my I can't English. Oh, I do love my boyfriend Otto. I appreciate him. It's my duo in Valorant. He makes um my stream fun when I do play Valorant with him. He makes it super fun. Because I'm more in IRL. I'm more shy. Shocking, right? That's how I am. But when I'm not working, um, I tend to be more shy and timid. Um, but when I'm working at either as a barber or if I'm a streamer, I'm more, hey guys, more bubbly, putting that energy out there. But when I'm not working in off stream, I'm more mellow compared. Everyone
Yeah.
has their like different how they okay. Everyone has their own different I guess I would say persona around
Mhm.
when you're not the same when you're not the same if with your significant other when you're with your family. You don't have
Mhm.
that same or even with your kids, when it's just you with your husband or with your wife, it's different how you act in front with your partner instead of in front of your kids.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like that. So it's yeah. It's-
Yeah, that makes sense.
I get that. Yeah, I think a lot of us, well, in the community, are a lot more shy than we are on our streams. I know me, I don't really say much in real life compared to what I do now. I think that was actually the hardest thing with streaming. Was like, holy shit, I have to actually talk more than I've ever talked in my life.
Honestly, when I started, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm really shy because I have a accent. I have a slight Vietnamese accent. So like I was actually telling Juds about this before I started streaming. I'm like I really don't like how the way I talk because I have like Vietnamese accent that I cannot get rid of. So I'm like this is a part of me compared to my siblings where like they don't have it at all. But it's just like but I was like, what if people don't watch me? What if like this and this happen and it's just a lot of discouraged moments but now like a month and a half in or like almost 2 months now I don't know I forgot how long I've been streaming but now I'm just like I'm in Judd's community. I'm in Jamie's community. I'm in Mindful community. So like, I met a lot of amazing people, because I gave up on streaming. Like I guess I stopped worrying about oh I don't oh are they don't like me, or are they don't watch me because I'm only playing Valorant, and I stream because I want to. Like I'm having a little bit. And the main reason why I play Valorant more on stream is because a lot of stuff happens in Valorant, which is, I think, is good content. So it's just really wholesome groups, right? You meet some really wholesome people, and then you meet people who are very toxic. And it's like I usually don't get mad, but there's one time I actually got mad on stream. But besides that, I don't usually get mad, and I laugh it off. I'm like, But it's just but yeah, no, it's I met a lot of amazing people through this, and definitely helped build my confidence. Just in life in general, like with streaming, with my work. And it's just like, yeah.
No,
I'm just ranting, but yeah.
no, I was gonna say I totally get like having an accent or whatever the case is, and like like you were saying, like you feel like it might be something that'll stop you or prevent you from taking this journey, right? But in the end, like that's your like most ally, consider, right? I think those that make you stand out as a streamer in a positive way. I was just trying to find him, but I couldn't find his link. Example, Sloppy Joseph. I think the dude literally sounds like David from Schitt's Creek, and I will tell you, I will come back every one of his streams just because I love hearing his voice, and same goes with you, Sleepy, and Mom, like those voices that you have, right, and how you present yourself in those streams is what makes people want to come back and watch you. For me, it's whatever. Play whatever game you want. I don't really care. I'm just here to listen to you talk and hear what you got to say, and well, if it's your case, Sleepy, like hear you and your friends, like just have a good time with one another.
Oh, we're chaotic.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
like basically I'm saying is like don't ever let that stop you, because that's definitely one of your more powerful tools that I think you use during streaming and makes you stand out, like I said, in a really good way.
Mom, you ever like hop into my stream, and if I'm playing with friends, we're literally shit-faced. We're like, like it's so funny because like when I'm playing Valorant by myself, like I'm really calm, I'm really quiet. If like there's no one like actually chatting in chat, like I'm really quiet. And like if someone's talking game out, I'll talking game as well. But if I have like if I have my boyfriend Otto, and if I have my my high school friend Aaron with me, Otto and Aaron are just complete. I'll say crackheads.
No.
It's absolutely funny, and this is great. And like, even if it was just me and Aaron, like Aaron is my high school friend. We went to high school together, and it's just like he knows me since 10th grade up until now. So it's just he will put me on blast. He has no filter with me. He will put me on blast. It was like, and he was streaming, and just like I would call him. I'm like, hey, do you want to stream with me? And then he's like, yeah. And then like he makes fun of me so much, just completely chaotic. If I have 4 other people playing with me, that's just chaotic. Mindful to tell you, my friends and I are chaotic as hell, but we're funny. So I let them do the talking. I barely talk. So I let them talk. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are embarrassing me. And then my friend Aaron's like, hey, we're doing your free content. I'm like, yo, why are you saying that?
That's what friends are for.
I'm like, why are you saying that while I'm doing streaming? What am I doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, we're doing you free content. We ain't getting paid for this. This is all 100% real. I'm like, geez. But
Yeah.
Going
That
on,
sounds like my friends. Yeah, my old friends and I. We were like that. Yeah.
I say
as
going
a
on the
streamer,
voice conversation. Sorry, Cheyenne just made a comment on there saying too that mom has a very ASMR, sorry, voice.
Oh.
oh,
Oh, thank you.
but it's yeah. Hopefully, I'm planning something in the future. Instead of gaming, I might do like a kind of like a vlog on Twitch and be like, and show Mama Sleepy because Mama Sleepy is funny too. My mom's my best friend, so
That'd be really cool. I like
Would
that
be.
idea. Yeah.
my mom has no filter as well. She's adorable. She's honestly adorable. Um, because I'll buy her boba, and the first time she had boba, she liked it a lot. But there's only one specific drink she actually likes, but she can't say boba. So she used to say a lot. She said, "I want boba back." I'm like, "What's boba back?" I'm like, "You mean boba?" She's like, "No, boba back, boba." I'm like, "Oh my goodness." So yeah, I know. My mom is pretty chaotic too. She I don't know. Maybe one of these days, if my mom and I go out of town, which is like, if she drives to San Jose, because if you're from Cali, you know where San Jose is. Um, it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours from where I live, and it's just like when we're in a car together, it's so funny. My mom, I have Snapchat videos of my mom, and she does these most adorable faces, and she's so cute. I love her. And
Yeah.
she's like, spending time with my mom, and I don't know. My mom's adorable. Mama Sleepy is adorable. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah, I think you guys would have some really good streams. That'd be really neat to see the two of you guys just having an adventure out in the day or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking because like Judd just lived 10 minutes away from me. He's like, I'm not kind of like legit at the town where I live. We live in the same town, but he's just on the other side. And I was telling Judd, me and Judd were talking about it. It's like once we actually plan to hang out, like actual hang out, we might do some like I'm not be streaming us hanging out. He might be streaming us hanging out. Just be like, hey, this is like. I feel like some people doubt that me and him actually are childhood friends. That's what I feel like. I feel like people think we're just saying that when we actually are childhood friends. So like, kind of proof of like, hey, here's our proof. We're both hanging out together. You both see, like, you see it two different point of views. But
No, that's a good idea,
especially
Sleepy. I was gonna say Peaswad does that every so often with Sleepy well, Sleepy Weasel, his friend. But they do like I think he calls it like Sleepy Fest, and he goes out there for a week or whatever, and they stream together just to say like, hey, look, we actually met up and did this. So that'd be kind of cool to see you and Juggernaut do that.
Has he never
Yeah.
so I'm like, oh, I know a fantastic sushi place, and it's like, and he actually asked his chat like, would you guys actually enjoy seeing me and Sleepy eat sushi together or like for him trying sushi for the first time and just having Sleepy there, and I was like, yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
like
cool.
there's a lot of places. Because most likely I'll be driving, so I can't really stream it as well. But when like I'm in a car, I'm like, and we sing music, but I'm like, I'm just weird in her car, so
Like on
there's
a
a
line,
whole.
I had this talk before with one of the community members, and I was saying if I ever met up with like one of you guys, or like ever had like a group sessions like that, I think it'd be really funny to do like a trivia thing, and like that's That's not like me. I usually don't do this for like charades or stuff like that. I think that'd be like, I don't know, it'd just be really funny to see, you know, a group of people.
Yeah, I think it
and
would be too. Yeah.
Yeah.
you and Cheyenne to make a 18-hour drive to Cali.
Oh gosh.
Hey, you never know what's gonna happen in the future, right?
Yeah, no, because Otto and I and his family, we actually drove from Cali to Canada. So we actually crossed the border. So it was interesting. Definitely, if I knew you mindful during that time, definitely I'm mindful. I'm in Canada. You and Cheyenne want to hang out.
That would have been so cool.
Yeah, but it's just it's an 18-hour drive. We drove from like 2 in the morning to like I don't know. I forgot what time we got to Canada, but it was a drive. It was a drive. We passed. The one thing I definitely remember was passing Seattle, and we went to a Denny's restaurant to eat, and they're like, oh, if we sit you guys down, you don't have to order right away because the kitchen was closing, but we see other people still ordering, taking their time. So I'm over here like, are you being stereotypical right now? Is that what's happening? Because all you see is just a whole bunch of group of Asians walking to a Denny's. So I'm like, are you stereotypical? And they're like, oh well, we just got here, we're hungry. And then like, well, gotta hurry up order. I got mad. I'm like, yo, I only had 3 hours of sleep. I'm ready to fight you. I was not having it that day. But yeah, it was interesting nonetheless. But yeah, if you and Cheyenne or even mom, if you guys decide to take a trip to California, me and Jess is happy to like show you guys around, especially in our area in NorCal. If you guys go to SoCal, that's on you guys. That's a 6-hour drive. You guys come to NorCal, yeah, we definitely would show you guys around. If you guys like boba, I will show you the best boba places. If you like sushi, I'll show you the best sushi place. But if you like ramen as well, because there's really good places that's like actually genuine, which is nice. By talking about hiking, that's like an hour and a half from where I live, or from where me and Jess lives. So I'm just like, that's on you guys' time. But yeah, it's definitely gotta plan something in the future for either mom or even you, Mindful, if you and Cheyenne be like, hey, oh, a week.
Yeah, like I said, I think that'd be really cool to do. Like something definitely to look forward to, long-term goal.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
It's interesting.
To meet everyone actually like IRL. Be cool.
I don't know why, Mom, but I think it'd be really, really funny to see Fundead and you hang out even for a day. I just, yeah. I don't know why, but immediately I picture him being a lot more shyer than what he is.
Yeah, I wonder that too. The reason, and I've said this, I don't know how many times I've said this. So I think the reason he and I click so well is he is the male embodiment of my sister. I think I've said this, like, we played Fortnite together, the three of us. And by the time I got off the game, I was like, I'm not sure which one of them I'm going to kill first. Like, he suddenly became really close family. And I was like, and that's why Sleepy was saying they're very chaotic. We talk a lot of shit. I mean, and I don't know why. I'm typically not that way with a lot of people. Like, I have to know you for a good minute
Yeah.
before I let the floodgate down. About the third time we played together, I was like, all right, I don't know what the hell this is, but he's about to get it. And it took me a few to figure out he is my sister to a T. So I set up a time for the three of us to play Fortnite because I wanted her. I said, okay, now you're going to experience yourself. I don't want to hear. Let's go. And so she got onto the game. It was like she admitted it wholeheartedly. She was like, "Oh my God, he is just me." They both, they both have. I'm going to say high spirits. They're very high spirited.
Oh yeah.
And so one was running northeast and the other one was running northwest. And I was like, where are you guys going? Like they just took off and we were in trios and one ended up dead 800, no, not 800, was it that far? 600 meters away from us. And the other one went 300 meters to see the other one, died in the process. It's the chaotic fun. Yeah, they're both very chaotic, but both very fun. But I don't know why the floodgate came down on him a lot quicker than it normally does with anybody else. But I wonder that too.
Fundead has a good personality. I said he's just very easy to get along with, to game with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's my sister is very much the same way. My dad always said, she could have. He always made the devil joke. She could take iced tea or iced lemonade down to hell and then serve it, and everybody would just take it from her because she knows no stranger. You're like, you're serving iced tea in hell. Okay, we'll take that. Because she's the same way. They're very, very much the same person. I was so shocked when he even has the same rhythm of speech that she has. It's kind of frightening.
That is so
I'll
funny.
have to put them. Yeah, I'll have to put them both on stream sometime, so everybody can have that experience. Cheyenne said that about my voice. That's very sweet. Tell her I said thank you.
Oh, no worries. Tell her no.
Very nice. So the thing that I've been dying to answer this. The thing that I would love to have from a video game in the real world. There are two things. And it both comes from Destiny, of course. The Sparrow would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Would be so much fun to have. And of course the jetpack. How could you not want a jetpack? Like a functioning jetpack, right? But the Sparrows are so much fun. And I know it's a total Star Wars ripoff, but I don't care. It's by the speeders,
Yeah, but they are really good. That's a good choice. Oh,
it'd be so much fun, break on a dime, hover without, flying off like an aircraft, be able to bang through the forest around trees and stuff. That would be fun.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, is when you see jetpacks, on YouTube, wherever they show you the modern ones. I remember watching that progression. I get so excited. I was like, oh my God, it's actually working. It might look ridiculous what they're wearing, but I was like, wow, they're actually doing it.
It's actually functioning. Absolutely. Yeah. Some of the science around that's interesting too.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive science geek or anything, but some of the science, when it's explained in layman's terms and I actually grasp it, it's interesting.
Yeah, I said, I don't know, I guess because I'm old enough now, right, where I remember going through school and just having all those conversations about flying cars and this is going to happen in the future. And to actually grow up and see, it's like, holy shit, they were right.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was going to go back to what Sleepy was saying about the 18-hour drive. So I live in the Midwest. I live in Indiana. And scores of people from Indiana that drive all the way to Disney World. It's crazy. It's a known thing that's what people do. Ohio people really close to Indiana, they will hop on. We're the crossroads country. They call it Indiana the crossroads. We have every major interstate system crosses Indiana just because of our location. And so it's very easy for us to hop on any interstate system and go wherever we need to go. And it's really nothing for us to drive 17 hours to go someplace. It's not a big deal for us to do that. It's just something we've always done. Yeah. Yeah. So when she was saying that, I was like, well, that sounds about, I think the furthest trip I've driven solo so far has only been like 8 hours. I think I've done 8 hours by myself. If I were to do 16, I'd at least want to swap off halfway. But yeah, that's I dated a gentleman from England, and the perception of the size of North America, I don't think it really hits until you're actually physically here.
That's true.
Yeah, it's a massive piece of land. I mean, that's just all there is to it. It's just huge. So yeah, I think he had a rude awakening. Like his family didn't understand why I hadn't been to Texas yet, and I'm like, well, that would be a 24-hour drive for me. And they were like, you just take a puddle jumper, which is a little airplane, and you just puddle jump there. And I said, well, at the time, like a lot of people we just don't do that. I mean, some people flew back then, but a lot of people drive everywhere. When I said, we landed in England and we drove to his place from the airport, it was like a 3-hour drive or something. He was like, are you going to be okay with that? And I thought, what is he talking about? Yeah. I don't understand. And then we literally spread a map out on the floor, and we did the old, like, okay, because we do everything miles here, right?
Yeah.
This is the little ruler. These are the marks of the miles. And I started doing the physical mileage to Texas. And he and his sister were watching me do this. And her jaw just kept dropping. She's like, wait a minute, how big? How big is it? And I go, well, your country fits in my state. Like, so yeah, I have always wanted to go out to California, but I've never had the opportunity. My parents were out probably about 15. They drove out, of course, 15 years ago. Went through the redwoods, and they thought it was beautiful. They loved Northern California. They loved it. But yeah, that is a goal, to go out there someday. It would be nice.
It's true though, like when you talk about like traveling, from state to state or wherever it might be. Yeah, it does. Even for me, sometimes it doesn't click in my head. Like Chanel will mention a province. I'm like, oh yeah. She's like, take a guess, how long do you think it takes? I was like, I don't know, 6 hours, 7 hours. And it's just like, it's just so off. Like it's like, no, try like 36 hours. I was like, really?
Yeah.
I was like, how could it be that long?
Oh yeah. Yeah, from one side to the other. Yeah, for real.
Let's see here. It is getting a little bit later. But I don't know. I think you were on your last time on we did this. I think you were too sleepy. Last time, how it ended, I was gonna run it by Fundead, but he's not here, so I can just do it. No, I'll run it with him next time too. But I kind of wanted to end off every podcast with our own little thing, like our own little click, whatever you want to call it. Where it's just something like positive. Just being happy to end the podcast off with. I think people hear a lot of hot takes and stuff like that throughout these, but sometimes you just don't get something nice little awe moment, whatever it might be. So, for example, last everyone got to share their goals that they did or they wanted to achieve, whether it's this year or future or whatever the case might be. I guess this time around, I'm a little more curious if you guys, of course, are willing to share, but something that was just positive that happened for you last year, or even just something positive in general that you wanted to share that maybe happened to you the last couple of years. That you're comfortable sharing on the podcast. I know it's a big one, so if you guys need a few minutes, I totally get it. For me, I'll just kick it all off. It's doing all of this with you guys. It's crazy to think it was, I don't even know now, 3 years ago, I guess, that I just went on and started playing Fallout New Vegas, and I was like, fuck it, let's try this out on Twitch and streaming. And never would have thought. I always thought podcasts were cool. I always thought streaming was really cool. Just never thought it would get to this level. And might not be big for everyone, but for me, it's a pretty big level. Like for a guy that thought he was the most boring person on the planet, and didn't think I would reach this point. With I said having more than even one person to talk to, or multiple people in the community. Yeah, it's fascinating. It blows me away. And I guess when Fundead tries to make me shy or embarrass me, whatever the case is, when he gives me all those compliments, like that's why I really don't know what to say, because I personally didn't think it would get to the level it is. It's I don't know. It's neat to have an idea and to actually see that idea unfold and come to a reality. So yeah, for me, that this has definitely been probably the highlight of my last 3 years. I mean, obviously, love Cheyenne, love my mom, but this is something that like I can say I did on my own, and it's cool to say that. It's just really cool to say that.
I love that. Yeah, it's nice to start something and have hope, and then watch it actually follow through.
Yeah,
Yeah, very cool. Yeah.
as goofy as it sounds, in all honesty,
No.
I was thinking back to it, and I think it was my uncle. He's going through a lot right now. But he was his own boss. He built his way up and got his own meat packing plant, and took that into $1 million industry. Now I'm not saying that's what I'm going to get to, but his words always stuck with me. He's like, no, we would talk about business, we talk about whatever I was in, and it was always kind of the same advice. He's just like, you got to be your own boss. You got to, he's like, go for those companies, make the money you need to. He's like, but long term, invest in yourself, find a way to be your own boss. He's like, because there is nothing else than waking up every day and doing it for you. Like if you're sweeping the floors or whatever it is, that job's a lot less boring when you're doing it, just to support yourself. And yeah, totally get that now going through this.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I had that little tiny soap business for a minute. And really, if COVID hadn't happened, I'm not sure when I might still be up and running, but it just put a kink in everything, it just kind of threw everything off. But yeah, I completely understand that. And yeah, that's very solid. That's actually really solid advice, and my 5 cents, because there is a different feeling to it. When I would, start a soaping session, it would take me a couple of hours to make, soap. If there's just something different when I know it's mine. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, totally, right? I mean,
Yeah.
your own design, your own thoughts that you're putting into there. I get that.
Yeah. It's like all my equipment. This is my equipment.
Yeah.
This is, these are my labels. This is my packaging. I mean, I've done all this from scratch. This is my recipe. Being my own recipes too. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I see, even do this with you guys. Like it's just like you said. I don't don't mean it in a weird way, like saying it's my business or like that, right? But I mean, just having the community, like even having you guys like pop on, it's like it's so cool. Like we all, in a way, like you say with like soap business, right? If you have employees along the way, like someone shares that vision with you enough to where they want to partner up with you and help you achieve that. No, it's a really neat feeling. Like
yeah, that's that part I didn't get off the ground, so I can only imagine that just adds to it. It's just going to add even more passion to it, I would think. Yeah, I feel like I've been really lucky over the last year to find foot in gaming and to have fun with and meet people. That's probably the uptick of my last year, is meeting your group, your Discord, and then meeting everybody. There's a second Discord that I'm a part of. I was a part of about 4 or 5 Discords, and I ended up dropping off of 3 of them because I just didn't feel like I could keep up with everything. And I really wanted it to be about, for me, because probably my age, about friendship too, and it's hard to maintain all of that. So very, very grateful that I met um, all of you, and I feel like you're friends. And in the other Discord, I've made friends there as well, and it makes everything so much more worthwhile, I think.
Yeah. I know. I always find it crazy, Mel, to like think there was a point in your life where, gaming just wouldn't have been it. Like I mean,
Yeah,
I said you're
yeah, I had to take
fantastic
a break. Yeah.
you're fantastic to play with, right? Like I said, it's always a good. Well, it doesn't matter what kind of game you're playing, right? It's always a good conversation when you're playing with you, and just I don't know you.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just
oh, thank you, thank you.
no worries. Just yeah, I said, it blows me away that that's someone would take that away from you or anything like that. Because yeah, I don't know how you just couldn't have fun with you. But
I appreciate it. Thank you. I always enjoy speaking with, I think with all of you, but I always look forward to getting to game with you and just kind of hang out and talk, shoot the shit, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, I always enjoy it. I feel very lucky, especially, and I'm going to say like at my age, because whenever the birthday rolls around, I'm going to do something for that.
Ooh, okay.
On stream, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but at my age, typically, people my age aren't doing what I'm doing, and I think I've always been fairly independent. I try to stay as progressive and open-minded as possible, and I try not to shut out my best. I try not to shut out younger voices, other generations. Even though my generation got beat up a little bit anyway, I think because we were so beat up, I want to make sure I keep an open mind and just listen to everyone and everything they have to offer. And I'm hoping that's what's kind of how I found myself in this situation. It just kind of fell in my lap, to be honest. I had no idea this is what I was going to do. So, but I always enjoy listening to the future. I love listening to what you see, how your perspective, how the Gen Z perspective is, even the little feral ones. They call them the feral generation coming up underneath Gen Z. Those little kids are wild. Oh, did you say something, Sleepy?
I know, I was like, are they really? I never knew that.
There's a joke going around on TikTok that they're feral, and the only reason they say that is I don't know if you've seen these TikToks where these little kids are picking at these wild animals and just carrying them around, and it's like, holy shit, that's a raccoon. Whole raccoon, dude. And the raccoon looks like, what in the hell? The raccoon's not even struggling or fighting. And it's numerous videos I've seen of these children doing this.
Oh, that's crazy.
The other just pick, look, I found a cat in the backyard. The mom was like, what? And the kid's like, what? And the raccoon's like, hey, can you help me? You can see that raccoon's just like, what the hell's happening? And there's like numerous videos of these kids doing this. But they're joking and saying that they're the next generation of kids to take absolutely no shit from anybody. So I appreciate them.
That's great.
That's so funny. Oh wow.
I'm looking forward to see I'm hoping I'm around long enough to see what they do with the world. It'll be a take no shit situation.
What about you, Sleepy?
Like what like am I most proud of?
Yeah, or just it doesn't have to be most. It could be just anything that you really enjoyed about last year, or even the last couple of years.
So what I'm like I enjoyed, right? And this might start like what I'm most proud of is that my mom's business, her barbershop, survived COVID, thankfully.
Aw, yeah.
Thank God. 'Cause that was a struggle. We were closed for 3 months, the beginning of COVID, and from that was like off and on. The first like 2 months, I'm like, cool, now wake up for 2 months. Hey. But like after the third month and just off and on, it was a definitely a struggle. But thankfully I my mom had a lot of help and a lot of people support her. So I'm really proud of her for like, fighting COVID for the past like 3 years or 2.5 years.
Mm.
Um, I really enjoy um of course my job being a barber and just like seeing how I improved from when I was 18 because I started barbering when I was 18 up into now, which I'm 23 now. So it's just yeah, from 18 to 23, I had to see a lot of mental like improvement, self improve, especially like self improvement as well as how my mom puts it, a young adult. And then
That's a hell of a commitment.
I'm
That's a
really
long time. Way to go.
Mhm.
and also really like I'm really happy with streaming and then you know meeting everyone from like different communities. I have Judd to thank for that. Like just meeting everyone, like meeting you, Mindful, is great because that opened the door to meeting Fundead and Mom and Z Chick and everyone. I love you guys all. You guys are great. I love it. and
Aw.
and just like even just growing as a streamer from even before I stream, Judd and his friends like I'm still don't follow. You're not streaming yet, but you need to stream. So I'm from where I first started from when before I started streaming, I had like 5 followers already from friends, and then just seeing how I grew from that to now. Now that I started streaming, I love it. If even if like two people like show up to my stream and like it's Judd's or it's Mindful or it's a few other friends, I'm just like I appreciate it. I do it for fun. My first thought is, oh, this is just a hobby. It's just for fun. And now, being where I am right now, I'm just like, oh, maybe I could actually achieve that dream. Like I could hit that in that beginning goal, and I had to add more goals to it. And it's just yeah. I love everyone. I'm mindful. I appreciate you for definitely giving like the opportunity to talk with you and Funded with the broadcast,
Oh, of
and
course.
it definitely helped boost my confidence with talking. um, of course, meeting Mom and Z Ched, you guys are amazing. I appreciate you guys. I
Aw.
love learning from. I love like hearing and learning from people who are like I'd say more well experienced in life in general than compared to me. Um, it's just fun. It's a whole everything with 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 everything with streaming to life to like talking to amazing people. It's a whole learning process for me because I'm still a noob, okay, but like just seeing how everyone community and different communities support one another is just great. I love it. I love you guys. You guys are great. I
Aw.
will stop bragging about you guys to my family members and like you guys, but you guys talk about them too much. I'm like, suck it. but yeah, my family is so annoyed with me with like if I'm watching Mindful stream and they're like, who are you watching now? Well, I'm watching Mindful, and they're like, who the fuck is that? I'm just like my like, if I'm watching Judge or I'm watching Jimmy or once in a while I hop on Z Kids stream and they're like, aren't they like older than you? I'm like, and because my mom had this conversation in the car when we were driving home. She was talking to a friend. She was like, "Oh yeah, she's talking to a friend that about streaming and stuff like that, and all these young people stuff." And I catch myself, and I so she hanged up on the phone with her friend. I'm like, "Mom, there are people on here who are probably older than you, Mom, that also are moms and have a normal job that does gaming as well." My mom just turned 50 in October, so
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just like, Mom, there are probably older people than you that stream, or exactly your age that stream, Mom. You're never too old for gaming. And then she was like, I can't learn. I'm like, I can teach you. But no, it's great. Just having the support, it's amazing. Like again, like I don't say it multiple times. I don't repeat, but I honestly do appreciate and love you guys. You guys are great.
Aw.
Mutual. Yeah, that's mutual feeling. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love the support. The support is fantastic from everyone. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Yeah. Yep.
I think that's the probably the best moment for me, at least, when like for you guys, when you hear people like you just said, too sleepy. If I know Fundead said that in the past too, where they go from that mindset of, oh, I'm just streaming, it's just for fun, and like I can always tell in someone's tone when they're saying, like that, like they mean it, it's authentic, but you could hear that like doubt that they're gonna grow into something bigger. So it's always nice when I, later on down the road, you hear them go like, yeah, I actually got this. Like, damn right you got this. Like, like you don't like, yeah, no one's gonna be a ninja and just overnight, turn into that many viewers, but like that door is always a possibility. It's always open, right?
Mhm.
It just depends whether you're gonna keep it open or you're gonna shut it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Like
yeah.
I told Otto, like when I'm streaming, right, and I would go from like 2 to like 4 or like 5, and then I would put my mic up, and then I would call his name. I'm like, Otto, guess what? He's like, what? And I'm like, I got 4 viewers watching, and he's like, great. He's like, oh, that's cool. But over here, like, yeah, I'm like, so excited. I'm like, yes. But
Yeah.
also, I just remember at the same time, I'm doing it for fun. If you stay and watch and you join the chaotic of my community, great. If the chaotic is too much for you, that's okay. I'm not meant for you. But yeah.
Yeah. And like I said last time, right? Eventually, you're gonna get those viewers that stick with you. Came in random, right? And for whatever reason, they clicked really well with you, and yeah, they'll come back time and time again. And I think those are probably the best moments when you are streaming.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like that saying, like stream goals and streaming in general. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I like
Exactly.
that. I've heard that.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard that from several content creators. Yeah.
Well, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for taking part in that. But yeah,
Yeah.
so every week I'll try to come up with a little topic for you guys. I'm happy to, Sleepy, that you say you like doing the podcast, because like I was telling Funded a while back, it's really fun. I still like the idea of the two tired dudes, but I also like to kind of expand it a little bit, because way back in the day, when I was trying to take on too much at once with all of this, I wanted to make like a weekly newscast for you guys, just to get out stuff. Example, you're an affiliate, which you're planned when you turn affiliate, right? Or maybe this upcoming weekend you got some cool idea you want to stream and you just didn't get a chance to promote it. So doing this is that kind of mixing those two ideas together. It's doing the podcast with Funded, and it's giving a chance for everybody to speak up and say what they're doing on their streams, and hopefully bringing a few extra attention their way, because yeah,
Yeah.
some of you guys have some really, like I said, really fantastic ideas, and we can help you get a few extra viewers along the way to when you do that, and more power to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mindful, for being amazing and having this big old family.
Like I said, I'm just happy it worked out as well as it did, and said it's it's crazy because you guys literally Solarial and Peaswad. I remember when I first made the Discord, I reached out to him. I was like, listen, this is my stupid crazy idea. I was like, what do you guys think? Like, do this is a possibility? And that's why in the beginning I shouted them out so much because they were like, yeah, go for it. We'll join and we'll sit and we'll wait and we'll help you try to make this into reality. And yeah, it's cool that it became that.
Yeah, it's a great place. I love it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. This is like the only I want to say only, but the most server that I am active on. Just like on the other servers, I have my own little separate server that my friend created. But she doesn't use it, so she's like, I guess I take over it, but I don't have the whole, ownership of it. And it's just like, I'm not active in other communities. But in this community, I'm the most active because you don't feel judged here. You say whatever you want to say. Yeah, it's just everyone's so supportive. That's all.
Mhm.
That's all I add. Everyone's so supportive. Everyone's like, if you're weird, or if you're quirky, everyone accepts you. It's fine. Just don't be negative and toxic. That's all.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Fundead has done everything possible to test the limits, and we still love him to death. So it's so good.
Yeah. Definitely.
Nothing like having
So true.
a nice talk with mom or whatever, and then 2 seconds later, this big belch takes place. I'm just like, Fundead, for Christ's sakes.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
What the hell? And there's no, and that is, I'm telling you, that is my sister to a T. That is my sister to a T. I was like, oh my God, what is happening?
Oh God, yeah.
Yep.
He's one of a kind. I love him.
Yep.
Oh.
And no apology, no remorse, just keep
No,
going.
just keep it going, right? There could be
Yep.
dead silence, and all of a sudden he'll just be spouting off something, and I'd be like, "Funded, what are you even talking about?"
What? Yeah, you'll hear me go, what's happening over there?
I get lost sometimes. I'm like, wait, what?
Wait, yeah, hold on, wait, what?
Pause. Hold on.
Mhm. I think I turned around in game and ran back to him, and physically my characters looked at him and said, like, what are you talking about?
But in his mind, he's got the idea down pat. He's like, "No, look, just watch me do this." It's like, "Okay, you
Yeah,
go for it,
watch me
buddy."
I got this. Okay. That's right. And it's my sister. Like, I'm telling you, they were 600 meters apart from each other. One went to rescue the other one, and I stood in the middle of a field going, what the f is going on?
Oh Lord.
And I'm chasing after, and I literally, when the other one died, I heard them both laugh in unison. They laughed in unison. You're going to have to come get us. And we're in the storm, by the way.
It's like, thanks, guys.
This is a Fortnite, of course. Yeah.
Okay, well,
It's all good. It's all good.
on that note, you guys, hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you guys so much for stopping by.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
This is so much fun. I enjoy this.
It is. I was gonna say, I think the way Funded schedule's working out now. I'll probably start these at around 7 because he seems to be on a little bit earlier than he used to be.
Mhm.
So if that's okay with you guys, I mean, I'll start at 7, but as always, right, you can join any point, leave any point.
Yeah.
It's just it's open. Yeah, we'll see you all on our next podcast on Tuesday then. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much. Yeah. See y'all later.